What's up, guys? Today we're going to be reviewing my 36 hours I just spent in Washington, D.C. Very fun trip, very eventful, got to experience a lot of things. So I thought I'd tell you guys about it as well. So we started out, I learned about this March for Life trip in October, and I was like, oh yeah, for sure, I'd love to go to that. Some teachers at my school were organizing it, we're going to have a group going, and we flew out of Dallas to go to Baltimore on Thursday, early morning. I got up at 5:30 a.m. So early morning there, very good flight. Not too much of a hassle there. Flew into Baltimore, took a train down to DC, took a metro to our hotel. First time doing either of those things, so that was really cool. Um, and then I got to chill out, have dinner at Shake Shack, do some ice skating. Very calming overall. Not too freezing temperatures yet. The snow wave is supposed to hit today. And I'm back home because we caught a flight last night to come back early and beat it. So everything in between. So I got a lot to say. So, March for Life Day. Lots of fun. Another early wake up. We took a shuttle bus down to Life Fest in Washington, D.C. So it was about an hour out from our hotel, but a very good event. We walked in, we had adoration, which was very nice. They brought an organ choir for mass. It was the Bishop of New Orleans, Archbishop of New Orleans, and the Auxiliary Bishop of New York that was there. Now the homily was very entertaining. I will say, Catholic mass not supposed to be, but homily. Bishop can go off. I think, when I auxiliary bishop, I'm like, oh, it's probably gonna be chill. He's like a normal guy. Now this guy was bringing the heat, man. He had receipts. He was ready to just go off. He was like, it's been a dream of mine since I was a young kid. I think he said he was in seminary since he was 14. I'm like, wow, that's dedication right there. So he was talking about Vatican II documents. And said when he was talking about the idea of you can't be pro-life for this and not pro-life for that. So he brought out a lot of receipts, whether it's abortion or euthanasia or subhuman living conditions. And the one that he didn't hone in on, but he gave pause to let it sink in, deportation. Now that got me riled up a little bit, I will say, because I am someone who is pro-deportation. And so I hadn't really considered that. And so I was able to come away from the mass and talk with my friends with a bit more of a nuanced perspective, saying hey, yes, while we shouldn't be giving people a free path to crime in our country, while we have the right to a border, we also look at people as individuals with dignity and not treat them less than that. Still give them their rights as a person, right? So yeah, I think that was good to come with a nuanced perspective on that. Then we had the march itself. We walked on down to the government buildings, and I didn't see any speeches. I know J.D. Vance, Mike Johnson were there and gave speeches. They had a little message from the president, Donald Trump. Very positive message overall. Just talking about how, we're here to defend the sanctity of life. It was also really cool to see the different way field protested because, that's the first time I've been thing. There were some I was like, I don't know if that's the right way to do it. Some I was like, okay, I like this signs. Bananas for Babies, that was a good group. I enjoyed seeing them. But one group in particular, I don't know exactly their name, but they had posted of graphic pictures of aborted babies, and it's yeah, man, it's really dark. I think it just isn't the place for that. There are kids around here that are marching for life. Kids around here, we don't need to be seeing that. We're already on our side. We think abortion's bad. Okay, you don't need to convince us how graphic it is and how bad it is. We know. So I didn't like their sign necessarily. I myself got this poster back here that Students for Life made, which is really good. But Charlie Kirk says, "Get married and have kids. You won't regret it." And Charlie Kirk is a huge influence on me. He is the reason why I became so invested in this abortion issue, watching his debates on college campuses, and also just opening my mind to having a bigger family and just putting a huge desire in me, more than I had before, to become a father and become a husband. And so, great, we saw a lot of those signs from the Student for Life group. My favorite podcaster Isabel Brown had one of them as well. So yeah, it was a really good event. I got to walk around, see all those different groups, different churches, different dioceses, different schools. Huge crowd. I would estimate it's at least tens of thousands of people. My friend and I got a little bit ahead of our group, and we and like see who else was there and stuff. I also got it. Sorry, I was talking about like freezing water guidelines and stuff. And so what's happening with so we got to see all the different groups, saw some Notre Dame people, which was great. Archdiocese of New Orleans had a big group there. White Rose Resistance were passing out a bunch of signs. So yeah, very fun overall. My friend also got interviewed by LifeSite News, a very good pro-life or family news website. And then we also found some America Firsters, some Groypers out in the wild. People who watch Nick Fuentes. Yes. So I actually went up to them to see what they were all about. Because I was curious. I saw their flag and their hats, and I was like, yo, like, I talked to them. They were both actually like very nice and respectful. One of them, I would say was a bit more extreme. He had the ski mask because he said, "Oh, I don't want to lose my job." I think he was a little bit of an oddball. We'll see. But the other guy was very nice, very respectful. It was clear we were fighting for the same thing. And yeah, it was good to see people like that who are watching someone who's considered an extremist by a majority of America who really isn't. At least in my view. That's my view, because I've watched this show. These guys sound extreme, but it really isn't. And so, yeah, good to see them. We passed by the Library of Congress. Then on the metro back to our hotel, we made a quick decision that we would take the last flight back to Dallas that night out of Reagan. And so we all just kind of hoofed it over there, got through the terminal, got our food. And then when I sat down for dinner, there's a lady next to me who saw my sign and was like, kind of grilled me on my views about abortion. Had a lot of questions like, what do you think about this? And what about this? And do you think this? Very interesting discussion overall. I wouldn't even really consider a debate. It was a lot of like asking questions. I think I handled myself well. A lot of taste in abortion and how I've been convinced is through like Charlie's debates and a lot of the arguments I have. And I think I was able to find a lot of nuance and balance through this too, and not just saying entirely what I was thinking. Like when she would talk about how like Planned Parenthood helps people, I'm like, after I brought up the fact that they sell aborted baby parts to like research facilities, I'm like, okay, yeah, Planned Parenthood's pretty evil. I don't agree with just about anything they do. But I didn't say that. I was respectful. I was like, you know what? People are in difficult situations sometimes. But I think if it is an elected abortion because they had unprotected sex, that's one thing. I think it's more responsible to not do that in the first place. If it's another kind of situation, what we call the exceptions, which are very rare, I'd say like, hey, yes, these women are in hard situations, the mothers are in hard situations, but at the end of the day, it's better to have that baby than to just get rid of it. If you're going to have it and give it up to somebody, there are 2 million families in the adoption waiting list. There are more likely than not pregnancy centers that can help you, give you resources to be able to if you still want to. And yeah, it's really pushing like sanctity of all lives. We're not just trying to save a child, we're also trying to help the mother through it and protect the sanctity of all life. And that was the message I was kind of going for there. Yeah, really nice debate. People across from me were saying similar things. So like, yeah, like I don't believe the same things you do, but I'm glad you're passionate about it and you're like talking about it. And so yeah, that was my trip. Came back to Dallas. Got home about like midnight yesterday. And yeah, really fun 36 hours. I also started a Substack this week. So if you want to find out, I haven't done any political articles yet, but I have 3 or 4 NFL articles up already. So if you guys want to check that out, head over to Substack and subscribe to Michael Lawler. That's my name. And yeah, I'll see you guys over there and in the comments. Peace.